Hey everyone, hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to XRP once again. Thank you for your support. Okay, big of the CoinsKid crew. So another thing I'm looking at is a key data point for the top of this bull run. Really simply, in this 4-year cycle, where I do think at this point, sometime this year, we do top in this particular cycle for Bitcoin, especially. And obviously with that is crypto and including XRP. It's not exempt from that. Is this particular chart? So this right now. If this has been the alt season from here, which was around about October, wasn't it? Late October, and we've seen the flush down into early December. If this little drop in the Bitcoin dominance has been the alt season, it's been the worst alt season I've ever been involved with. So personally, I don't think that is the case, and there's no bias here, but I think, like I've taught you before, what we do see before an alt season is a major spike to the upside, okay? A lovely little spike. Just here, we've got a lovely little spike before the big drop and the waterfall in the Bitcoin dominance, which spells the end of the cycle, because right towards the end of the cycle, this is where the big vertical comes in altcoins because of the big drop in Bitcoin that's been doing incredibly well for so long. So this is still my primary expectation at the moment. I still think, and there's no bias here, I still think there's a fifth wave missing for Bitcoin, and with that, the confluence is the fact that we've not seen the waterfall. So I hold my hands up. I did anticipate here was the initiation of the alt season. We would come up, retrace, make a little high, and then boom, drop. That was my primary expectation, but we've not seen that. So what this means right now, that if we are still in this cycle, which I think we are, given the data points I'm looking at and the structure of the charts and things like that that I've shown you, if we are still within this cycle where we do top this year and enter the bear market this year, then what the Bitcoin dominance is doing right now is absolutely beautiful, because it's going to provide an opportunity right towards the end of the cycle, like it did there and like it did there. And what we're getting is a double spike up, and a double spike up here for the Bitcoin dominance. So we'll keep an eye on this. I think the minute this starts to break down and loses the thick yellow line, which is a 20-week EMA from this particular point, then I think we could be on the cusp of a major waterfall in the Bitcoin dominance, which obviously is a vertical in the XRP chart and many other charts going forward, okay? So not necessarily we've had the alt season yet. I've been trying to find the alt season. We did have initiation in alts way back there when the Bitcoin dominance dropped around about 10%. It was part of my confluence analysis right on this trend line. We would come back to this support and we would see a big move up in altcoins, and we most definitely did. If we take a look at XRP right there, you can clearly see, if I drop it in right now, you can clearly see that we did right on cue. Right at the bottom here is this resistance, this dropped and XRP popped. But ever since then, I actually think what we've been in for XRP, and I relayed this in a previous video, we're in some kind of expanded flat correction here for XRP, okay, where we should be bottoming out as this is topping out, and as this begins to rolls over once more, this right now is your alt season. This is your waterfall, like it was there and like it was there. So the confluence to the big end cycle, the big alt season, I do envision in the charts right now. And obviously people say I'm too moonish and too bullish and things like that, but I think it's in this chart within itself. We've not seen the big waterfall that we see right towards the end of every season. So basically this drop here could be that, and then this pop here could be that before the big waterfall to the downside. Big waterfall to the downside in a Bitcoin dominance. If we see that, that's it. That's equally confluence to the fact, okay, the cycle's done here. We've got to get out of crypto. You've got data points stacking up in the Bitcoin dominance, and that's it. We run for the hills. So for this point now, I do still remain bullish for XRP. I'm not a perma bear. I'm not a perma bull. I'm just relaying the data to you. So the Bitcoin dominance right now is showing us that there's a potential scenario down the line. Don't know when. Possibly this year, over the next few months. Who knows? No one's got a crystal ball. But the Bitcoin dominance right now is showing us that we've not really had the true alt season. If this has been the alt season, it's been absolutely awful. And basically this season has just been Bitcoin season. If we do see this, okay, and Bitcoin continues to break down and goes bearish, then it really has been the worst alt season, the worst altcoin run I've ever seen in crypto. But at the moment, I'm looking at setups across the board, especially for XRP, that we are in a C wave, as this is retracing right now, coming back up in a sharp, steep incline like it did there, and equally there before the big waterfall drop, before the potential of a big waterfall drop. Okay, so if we start to see this in the dominance like we did there, and like we did there in 2017, like we did in 2021, then I think that's it. We've got confidence within this chart that the market is over at that particular point. Now, relay that to you. So we don't quite see it just yet. Let me dive into another thing right now to show you why I do think we've got a major move to the upside in risk. So the king of risk, the S&P 500 for me, has not entered a bear market. There's no sign of a bear market at the moment. If anything, it's holding a 20-week EMA. It's breaking out. It's holding a 1.618 on the breakout. It's had a back test, and it's looking pretty tasty, to be honest with you. We've just made that all-time high for the S&P. We're pulling it back a little bit, and this thing could turn around and break towards that 2 fib at 6634, where I did relay to you in a recent video that if we get up here, you start to see this trending up, I think there could be confluence of the big correction going forward, where we do enter, you know, some kind of big bear market or correction or whatever down the line. So we need to pay attention to that, because, you know, every time we're hitting these fibs, we are in some kind of correction here, and with that, we are having a correction in the crypto markets, and I've relayed that to you. So this chart right here is why I've been incredibly bullish on risk, XRP and Bitcoin, especially. Okay, and there was many analysts out there, a couple, I'm not naming any names, but you did ask me to look at their analysis, because they was really bearish on this particular chart. They said that it wouldn't make all-time highs. Equally, Bitcoin wouldn't make all-time highs. So I countered their analysis because you asked me to. Okay, so I did. But one of the key data points that I relayed to you, which is why I was incredibly bullish on this chart, and equal confidence in this chart that risk and obviously XRP and Bitcoin would be bullish as well, was one simple data point that I relayed to you. It was the breakout in 2023 of this level of resistance. Boom, 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 boom. 5-wave correction to the previous swing high, holding support, breakout to the 1.618. Go back to the videos at that time, okay? That's where I said to you, I think XRP is coming up here. I think we're in an impulsive move to the upside, and Bitcoin and XRP are going to flourish and do incredibly well, and have done exactly that. Okay, so far so good. With this chart, I don't see anything that's bearish in this chart at the moment. Okay, obviously we're coming up, we're extended, we're doing really well, but you know, we've back tested the 20, back tested the 1.618. This is having some kind of uptick, pullback, continuation. So, you know, if this continues to do this, then that is confidence. Okay, we're looking at a major move to the upside in crypto as well. So at the minute, I just can't be bearish until I start to see this chart tell me it's bearish. Okay, so there was equally another data point I relayed to you why I was incredibly bullish on this chart. It was way back in April and May of 2023. You see this red line crossing the yellow line. That's called a golden cross. On the weekly time frame, they are like rocking horse poo. Basically, death cross coming down, capitulate, oh no, it's going to zero, then you reverse it, golden cross, buy and go to the beach, go back to its support, and then boom, bolted towards 1.618 with the potential target here to the 2 fib at 6634. So this chart right now is why I remain bullish on, you know, XRP, even though it's having a pullback. It's the same reason I was bullish way back here when it's having a pullback, and everyone's saying, you know what you're talking about. But at that point, you know, every time this pulls back, XRP pulls back as well. Okay, really simple. So going forward, until this chart breaks down for me, until I start to see bearish market structure, which currently I don't, I'm respecting the trend, until I start to see a breakdown, a significant breakdown below the 55 EMA, which is a red line, and obviously losing structure and entering a downtrend structure from where it is, I remain bullish on risk. Really simple, okay? But at some point, it will roll over. So I'm trying to find targets. At the minute, with a confluence of potential breakout of a final fifth for XRP and Bitcoin, and obviously the breakdown in the Bitcoin dominance right there, if we do see that, then this chart needs to be trending up, okay, towards that 2 fib at 6634, where I do think we could start to see a significant pullback or correction in crypto. So it would be confluence my analysis at the time. I'll be relaying that to you. So stay tuned for that, okay? So there were many analysts out there that were really bearish on this, but like I said to you, I've gone back so many years. I looked at all the data points. Every time we'd made a golden cross, okay, after a 5-wave move to the downside, a corrective flag, basically a broadening bottom, every time we'd done this, it was bullish. It was not bearish for this chart. And I think I went back to the 50s or the 40s, you know, looking at all data points, and many data points. And again, like I said to you, relayed at the time, data not emotion. For me, XRP is incredibly bullish. So if we drop the XRP chart in right now, you can clearly see, you know, way back when in January, way back there in 2023, this is pretty much where January we was bottoming in that truncation. So I said to you, a massive opportunity here. From here, 1 into a 2, and then boom, third wave coming up. So right now, I still think we're in the realms of some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup for XRP, with the confluence of this particular chart getting to the 2 fib at 6634. But if we do start to see the waterfall in the Bitcoin dominance with the turnaround and break around in this particular chart to the 2 fib, and obviously XRP going berserk as well, then I think we're in the end phase. Okay, really simple. So keep your eye out for that. I'll keep updated as best I can. Let's dive into the XRP chart right now to see what we can see, okay? So quickly before we do dive into the continued XRP chart right there, I just want to show you and remind you about Fartboy. It's a community takeover coin. It's doing incredibly well. We've jumped in as a community down here, rescued this coin from the depths of despair, dragged it out of the trenches. It's doing incredibly well. There is actually a potential flag pattern here on this particular chart where we've come up. This is flagging back in some kind of bull flag, and the next target is roughly up there around about $220 million for this particular project. Okay, so I wish you most luck in this particular project going forward, but equally the confluence of a major breakout for XRP and Bitcoin, and obviously the breakdown in the waterfall in the Bitcoin dominance right there, this thing could absolutely rocket and get to that $1 price target of around about $1 billion market cap, which we have seen many times in these cryptocurrencies. Okay, it's not beyond the realms of reality. Okay, so if we start to get this bull flag coming back like this, boom boom boom, and we break out, we could actually march towards that level in the next big impulsive move, which I think is coming over the next few months here for the crypto markets. So that's basically Fart Boy. Like I said to you, as we get right close towards the end of this cycle, the appreciation, the big profits, the big money making is made in these low caps, not necessarily XRP and Bitcoin anymore. Let me dive into the XRP chart to see what we can see. Okay, so quickly before I do dive into the XRP chart with you, I just want to show you we've got the CoinsKid lifeline here. So from here in December of 2022, we flip bull, look at that, flip green after this huge downtrend of being red, holding it as resistance. We eventually broke through this, held its support, flip green, and then boom, we come up in a 1. ABC2, which is an expanded flat correction. There's your A, there's your B, there's your C. We've bolted in the third wave, which made the all-time high as expected. Look at that. Then we've gone through the wave 4 correction last year, and then boom, we've bolted. But you can clearly see in here, okay, we've got subsets of waves. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here 1, 2, 3. We only see 3 waves at the moment. So what I think we're going through is an expanded flat correction in Bitcoin, A, B, C, wave 4, and then boom, we bolt. Okay, and this leg here, this is where we start to see things go vertical, right towards the end phase, right towards the waterfall in the Bitcoin dominance, and equally the breakout in the S&P 500 to that 2 fib. Okay, so keep an eye on that. If we do start to see all them things lining up, then I think that's it. You know, we've got the perfect symmetry of the top in this particular cycle. So I'm looking at this particular time frame. If my last is correct, from this bottom, okay, we've got a 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4 into the final 5th wave. This final 5th wave consists of 5 waves within itself, okay, before we should flip bearish. So one thing I'm looking at right now, I do think in time, once we break down below this ribbon and flip red like we did there, that's it. You know, we have significant pullback in a matter of weeks. If we start to see that for Bitcoin, that equally is the end of the cycle, and confidence in the price structure in itself, that's it. You've entered a bear market, everything's coming down the stairs. So at the moment, you know, a lot of people say I'm biased and mootard and things like that, but I'm just relaying the data to you. I don't see any reason to be overly bearish on Bitcoin or XRP or S&P 500 or even Fart Boy at the moment. In fact, we're gearing up for a massive vertical against all odds and expectations. But obviously, I'll keep you updated. If the minute I see it invalidated is the minute I relay that to you. So this is why I'm a buyer, not a crier, and I'm accumulating XRP and equally Fart Boy. Now Fart Boy, I think, could be one of the best things I've ever given in this channel. Okay, I think I could actually make more millionaires than any other YouTuber has ever made in this particular crypto space because of Fart Boy at 8.7k. So I wish everyone the most luck with that. But if you are looking to get involved in Fart Boy, there's a contract address. You just paste it into your Phantom wallet, get involved. You know, stop sitting on your hands. Right now, let's dive into the XRP chart, see what we can see. So looking at XRP on the daily time frame, and I really appreciate one of the CoinsKid crew did relay to me yesterday that we have seen 5 waves in the C wave. Okay, so I've been looking at this as a potential expanded flat correction wave 2, a 3, looking at 4, and then final 5th wave down. But you know, if we start to zoom in there is 5 waves. So I'll go through that with you in a moment. But you know, this has all the qualifications of the end of the correction. Now typically what I do look for in expanded flat corrections is trend-based fib extension. So from there to the A wave to the B wave, you can clearly see we've tagged the 1.618 like an absolute boss, and that is always a minimal target of an expanded flat correction. So A, B, C, 1.618 like an absolute boss at roughly $1.79, and equally the 20-week EMA. So it does qualify. Okay, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself just yet, but we may be forming some kind of bottom here for XRP. Okay, and it's represented in the strength of the power, you know, this particular wick being brought up. So we may not actually see this level being hit, okay, which is an area I do actually have some bids for XRP. Now over the next few days and leading into the next few weeks here, what we need to see is a structural bottom on this wick, because like I've always taught you, 9 times out of 10 these wicks do get filled. Okay, if we look at history just there, we've got a wick filled just there, that wick was filled just there, and as this was breaking out and coming up, everyone was getting extremely bullish, but I did relay to you, I expect that wick to be filled. And if we do start to lose this high here, then I'm going to put some bids on a 20-week EMA for the big boy bounce, and this increases the probabilities that from here in December we've seen an A, a B, a C. This is all a correction. It's an expanded flat correction. So from here on the 20-week EMA yesterday, This particular chart is up a whopping 38% off that buy zone that I gave you if you lost that green line, which is basically the $2.50 level. Okay, I gave you that update I think on Friday or Thursday last week. So there is a qualification of the end of the correction here, okay, for XRP, because from this here we do see 5 waves to the downside. So the rule of Elliott wave states that, okay, if we've seen 5 waves in any direction, typically the rules of Elliott state that, you know, wave 3 cannot be the shortest. So from here, say we're impulsive to the upside or corrective to the downside or whatever, you look at 5 waves to the upside. 1, 2, 3 is usually largest, 4, 5. Okay, now this third wave can never be the shortest. That's the rule of Elliott wave. So in theory, if this is a 1 into a 2 into a 3 into a 4 into a final 5th wave, which is capitulated, a big sell-off, selling climax, and we bounced off a 20-week EMA right there, then this could actually be the C wave complete. Okay, and from the high all the way up there, we've had a whopping correction of roughly 47%. It could qualify for the bottom of the correction, but going forward, what we need to see is a structural reversal here on this wick, okay, above the 20-week EMA, and obviously this low here that we put in. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at right now. We may have completed a WXY correction or ABC, whatever you want to call it, and that was the bottom. That was the opportunity that I gave you on a 20-week EMA, and from here we need to see some kind of reversal pattern, ascending triangle, triple bottom or whatever before the next leg to the upside. So at the moment I'm not actually in any leverage longs. I think it's very volatile to jump into any longs at the moment on any coin. I have bought some spot bids, you know, I've accumulated more XRP on this 20-week EMA, currently doing incredibly well off that. You know, I've been accumulating XRP on all these pullbacks and dips with logic basically that I've been relaying to you, but right now you know, I wish I could say to you, okay, we've had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, and you know the rules of Elliott wave state that, you know, wave 3 cannot be the shortest. So if we measure wave 3 from here all the way down, that's roughly 21%, and if we measure the first wave, which was from this B wave high to the bottom, that was roughly 17%. And obviously, you know, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to see that the final 5th wave was absolutely monstrous. So possibly it's complete, whether the 1 down, the 2 up, the 3 down, the 4 up, and then the 5. So we've seen 5 waves in C, bottomed on a 20-week EMA, create a reversal pattern down here. We won't see this red line back tested at $1.63. We go sideways, boom, 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 and then we break out to the upside. So this is what we have to do at this point right now. We've just got to be patient. We've just got to kick back, relax. Personally, I'm not entertaining any long positions at the moment because I think the market's too volatile. It's up and down like a yo-yo. So I will build long positions with you in time once I start to see a structural base being formed on this wick and the 20-week EMA. The invalidation, obviously, if we do begin to break down, then this was your third wave. This is retracement 4, and then we got the final flush down. But I do think all of this from this point here, this is corrective. This 3-wave move up is corrective. Okay, so all of this I still think is a macro wave 4 correction, okay, within a bigger move here for XRP, and I think that all of this pullback is only opportunity, however deep it goes, for the next leg up to the upside, with the confluence of the missing 5th wave for Bitcoin, which I've shown you, the breakout beautiful move on the S&P 500, which is incredibly bullish. I don't know why people think that's bearish, and obviously the waterfall that we've not seen in the Bitcoin dominance. So they're the key data points I'm looking at right now that are stacking up. They're adding confidence to the fact that I don't necessarily think this bull market's over here for XRP. So again, the greater the opportunity in this particular time frame for me, it's not necessarily XRP anymore, although I'm accumulating it and I've not sold any XRP. It is actually Fart Boy. I think Fart Boy's got a massive upside potential to it. So this is why I've got some exposure to Fart Boy. Not as much as exposure as I probably should have, but you know, again, I do think it's a risky trade. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, but if we are exactly where I think we are in this cycle, then Fart Boy could be the millionaire maker in this particular cycle. So please, you know, if you're not already exposed to Fart Boy, just get a little bit of exposure, $10, $20 or whatever. Nothing will break the bank, but just get involved, because I would hate for you to miss that big run up on Fart Boy. Okay, take care everyone. Back to an update on XRP. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.